You know, that Greater Mankato was the only city in the country that actually can boast that it's home to 2 professional sports teams training camps. The first of which has a game tonight, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and so Crunch wasn't able to join us. But in Crunch's team is the other professional sports team that takes camp in Greater Mankato every summer, and that's the Minnesota Vikings. We have Victor and the Vikings cheerleaders. This event really is about celebrating Greater Mankato, and our target really is to talk to you as legislators, our state representatives, our state senators. What we want to share with you is the importance of Greater Mankato in the state of Minnesota, and to you as legislators as you go about your business. Some of you may not know this, but Greater Mankato, just a couple of years ago, received its designation as a metropolitan statistical area. And I chatted with a few of you downstairs earlier tonight. Greater Mankato has a core population today of about 100,000 people. That's a pretty significant population, and it encompasses a couple of counties worth of communities. Inside of that 100,000 population, we've seen growth since the start of the century at over 13%. We're home to over 54,000 employment opportunities and thousands of business establishments. What's really interesting about this marketplace is the diversity of the marketplace and the impact that it has on you as a state and as representatives. Some of you may have recently seen the University of Minnesota report about trade centers. We were pretty excited about that report that came out because it announced for the first time Greater Mankato was a level 1 regional retail trade center, joining the ranks of Duluth, St. Cloud, and Rochester. And Mankato for the first time was in that mix of level 1 trade centers. How about a round for that? And even more impressive, with over $900 million in spending, and the largest being $1.2 billion, our per capita spending was at $17,000 as opposed to $10,000 in most other communities. What that really speaks to is the regional footprint of Greater Mankato. I think it's pretty exciting for us as a state when we know that we have a community like ours that's bringing dollars in from places like Northern Iowa and seeing them spent in Minnesota. That helps us as a state. We're glad that we can make that contribution to the state of Minnesota and here in St. Paul. Tonight's event, our time here is really something we titled Why Greater Mankato Matters. Let me give you some examples of that. When you go home this weekend and you sit down and you read a book to your grandchild or perhaps your child, when you pick up that children's book and you read it, there's a pretty good chance that children's book was authored, published, and printed right in Mankato at a company called Kaufman Publishing. Huh? When you go home and you take out your cover or you go to the grocery store or you go to a Vikings game and you indulge in a bag of Angie's kettle corn, Angie's kettle corn is manufactured in Greater Mankato. And when you go to the airport to get out of the plane and you jump in an elevator, that elevator was likely built, produced, and is taken care of by Minnesota Elevator based in Greater Mankato. And when you go visit one of your parents or something in your family is being kept alive, perhaps, by medical device that might be implanted in their chest, pretty good chance that that medical device is engineered, produced, constructed right in Greater Mankato. When you get on an ATV, when the weather gets a little nicer, all the cabling in that ATV that lets you operate it, that was made in Greater Mankato. And when you get an invitation to a wedding sometime soon, guess where that is probably printed? In Greater Mankato. When you think about our military defense and our ships that are at sea, today, right now, I'm told, there are 183 U.S. naval vessels that are somewhere in the waters on this planet. Those 183 naval vessels are getting their power from generators that are manufactured and built right in Greater Mankato. And when you go to the hospital and you don't have to worry about the power being interrupted during the middle of a procedure, those backup guy that comes across the skies is made in Greater Mankato. And finally, when you're driving through the back roads of Minnesota, and you see the cornfields that pop up this room, and you see that corn that's growing robustly, a pretty good chance that that corn is developed, researched, and made better by companies in Greater Mankato. Those are just a handful of the reasons why we think, for you as a representative and a senator, Greater Mankato matters. I gave you about 12 companies that employ thousands of people, but we have thousands of companies that employ 54,000 people. And every one of those businesses has made a difference, not just in our region, but in the state, in the country, and really across this planet. That's why when we come here today and we say to you, we want to keep this engine known as Greater Mankato continuing to hum, continuing to be a vibrant part of the state, continuing to create jobs, generate tax revenues, whether it be from income taxes, for sales taxes, whatever it might be. We know there are things we need your help with as a state legislature to make this happen. That's why we're here today, telling you about the partnerships that we use to leverage our resources, talking to you about our regional footprint, and asking you to help make those investments that are critical to our community. Things like our arena and event center expansion, which houses Minnesota State University hockey, we hope, for both men and women in the future. We need your help to make that happen. In addition to that, our higher education facilities need your help with dollars to continue the expansion of facilities at South Central College and Minnesota State University. Dollars are needed to make those expansions at those universities. The important thing being, because those are our sources, along with our other three higher education institutions, for our future talent. And the states that are going to have vital economies in the future are the ones that produce and retain that talent. And in Mankato, we have 25,000 students every year who are part of our future talent base. And finally, we know we've got to move goods and services and people between our marketplaces, and that's why it's critical that we continue to invest in transportation infrastructure. And Highway 14 is at the top of that list for us. So we need your help as legislators. We know it's a challenging year. We know you're in the middle of those conversations between chambers and between parties, but we need you to hold Greater Mankato at a high level and to understand that we can help power and generate this state, but we need your help to continue to fuel that engine. We hope that you'll take that message back from us today, that you'll get to meet these businesses, you'll hear that message for us, and as you go through the remainder of the session, you'll look kindly on Mankato's request, and you'll help fund those things that are going to power not just our region, but the state of Minnesota. I didn't know how many legislators we have here this evening, but I saw a number of bus loads coming in. I know you have a busy evening. The governor